Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I have this really simple, very quick black tip French manicure for you guys. So let's begin. And these are the items I will be using in tonight's manicure. The details would be listed in the description box for you if needed. So starting from my left, I have my stamping plates and my scraper with my stamper, some jewels. I also have some tip guides, some acetone with my roller tape brush, my base colors, my stamping polish, my fast drying top coat, some cotton, a dotting tool, and a cleanup brush if needed. So now that we have everything here, let's begin. All right, my loves. So I have already gone, as you can see, and got a head start here. And the base color I used was a nude color from Wet n Wild. It's number 204B. It's called Private Viewing. And I've actually done 2 coats of that as the base color. And the next thing I'm going to do is grab my guide tips. But just to give you an insight on how I'm doing this manicure, here it is. So basically I am doing the guides on 3 nails, and then I'm doing the little bow on 2 of them. So I'll continue to do so on my left hand with the same thing. I'm going to do the tips on 3 of them and the bows on the next 2. So to do the tips, I actually used some nail guides, and I have these triangular guides here that I'll be using. So I already done the 3 fingers as you saw, because I didn't want to have you sit through there and be bored. So I'll just show you really quick how I did the triangular tip, and then we'll start with the stamping as well as the little painting on off the tips there. So basically I took the tips and laid them down really nice and even, try to line them up with the size of those. And the tweezer really does help to do that. So it's about there. See if you can get it nice and straight, you know, the tip to the middle of your nail. Line it up really well. And then we could stick them down like that. Perfect. Make sure there's no bubbles or anything on it, like this little dot here of nail polish that I don't know where that came from. But make sure it's lined up pretty well, and that there's no bubbles, because that will ruin the manicure, of course. It'll go underneath that little guide there, and then you'll have a ruined manicure, so you don't want anything to disturb that. So just press down and secure it very well onto the nail. And for the stamping polish I'm going to use tonight is my Born Pretty Black stamping polish. However, for the nail tips, I'm actually using my China Glaze Black number 544. It's called Liquid Leather. And of course, you can use whatever you have for this manicure. For the stamping plates, the bow is going to be coming off my Born Pretty plate. And this is number BPX03. And there's the little bow we'll be taking off. And for the nail tips here, the design underneath, will be taking that off from my Pueen number 21 plate, which is this little guy here. So we'll need a piece of tape to take off these excess parts. Okay, so we're pretty much ready here. The first thing I'm going to do is I am actually going to do the stamping first. So let's do this first. Let me grab my tape. And I have my little transparent stamper here so you can see, and my scraper. The stamper is from Born Pretty, the scraper is from Bondle Monster. And it's good enough, so I'm just going to take off the excess that I don't want around it. There's not a lot going on that I don't want here. Just these little lines, these unwanted little lines can come out, these little dots from the other part of the image. I'm just pulling that out so you can, you know, pretty much take what you want off of this and keep what you want on it. That's the nice thing about stamping. It's just easy to maneuver it however you want, and get the images parts that you want on there. Alright, so I'm going to use this now, and pretty much it's just to line it up directly under that V. Here's the V, here's the image, and I'm just going to line it up really well and press down on it. That looks good enough for me. Hopefully it's not dried at this point. Pressing down and rolling. And there it is. At the same time that that's being dried, I am going to go ahead and get my black regular nail polish and paint that tip. And we're also going to remove the tape and the latex immediately because the tape is stuck to that latex, so it's going to pick it right up. And we just want to run a nice smooth coat of that polish on there. And as I'm picking up the tip guide, the latex is probably going to come right off. That's fine at this point because there's not a lot of mess here. And that one's done. And the other one is pretty simple. For that one, we will be using the little bowl that's right here. So we can take that image off. And that one's going in the middle of the nail, as you can see. Again, you'll be needing a piece of tape to take any unwanted part of that image off. So there I have my little bowl, and as you can see there's some dots on the side here, so I don't want that getting on my nail, so I'm just going to remove that quickly, and there it is. And then we go ahead and we line this up in the middle of the nail. So here we go. Let me do it on my end first, and then I'll show it to you. And there it is. And I'm just going to press down on it and roll it. And that's pretty much it for the stamping. We can go ahead and I'll grab my jewels and I'll be right back to add the jewels on there. Alright, sweethearts, so for my jewels I have these tiny little gold studs that I will be using, and to pick those up I am using one of my favorite little tool, which is the wax pencil. And I'm also going to use a dotting tool and my black nail polish for this. Usually I go ahead and I use the top coat to seal it in, but tonight I am actually going to use the black nail polish just to give it a tiny little black ring around those jewels. A very, very small black ring. And of course, if you don't have a dotting tool, you can go ahead and grab anything that's available for you. A bobby pin works just as great, or a pencil point, you know, anything that can make a nice round dot. So I'm going to make 2 dots right in between there and one on the middle of the bowl. And I want to make them just a little bit bigger than the actual jewel. So it has that black ring around that gold on it. And we'll just place the jewel in the middle of that, and I'll press down a little or tap down, whichever, just to secure it. Make sure it's holding on there, that the nail polish adheres to it. And we'll leave that for a minute. We'll come back to it as I do the next. Same thing, press down, tap down, whichever, just let it stay in there. And now when we apply the top coat, that's going to lock those little jewels in even better. So tonight for my top coat I am using my favorite, which is the Out the Door Fast Drying Top Coat. Now I have gone ahead and polished the other nails already, and I am just gonna give this a couple seconds so the black nail polish doesn't drag on too much as we're applying the top coat. So I'll repeat myself, I do this on every video, and the reason for that is, you know, for people who's watching my video the first time, they'll know what to do when applying top coat to the finished manicure. So usually when I'm applying it, I go very heavy on the top coat itself and try not to brush the polish over the same spot twice, because you could drag the image that you just stamped on there and it could ruin the manicure. And also cap the nails, as I'll be showing you. I usually cap my nails, and that helps my manicure to last just a little longer because it prevents chipping from the tips, and it also prevents wear and tear when you cap it. So that usually helps. So here we go. Nice loaded brush. I start from one side of the nail, not going over the same spot twice. I am not pressing down on the brush, because if you press down you will drag the image, and there we go, we capped the nails. And I'm going to come back and do a second coat on this. If I do not use jewels or gems or anything of that sort on the nail, I would just do one coat. However, I usually do 2 coats to let that jewels get locked in, and usually when I lock it in pretty well, they can last up to a week. I really have no problem with having my jewels last up to a week on many occasions. So here we go, do the second and cap the nails. And I'm going over again with my second coat to lock that jewel in. Cap the nails again. And one more time on this as well. Cap the nails. So that's pretty much it for the manicure. So take a closer look at the pictures and I'll be right back. Alright my sweetheart, so here it is. This is the finished manicure. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight, and if you have any questions, always feel free to write to me. I will answer them as best as I can and as fast as I can. And thank you all so very much for popping by and watching my videos. I do appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos as well, and have a wonderful night everyone. Bye bye now.